It's a daily occurrence across the country, parents taking their kids to schools. But for one local woman, it's a sad reminder of the last time she saw her mother alive.
So she dropped us off at school, and when I got out the door, I looked at her.
The day, November 15th, 1982, 10 days before Thanksgiving. Angel Lester says her mother, 32-year-old Edna Muscarello Lester, drove her and her brothers to school at St. Maurice Elementary School shortly after 8 a.m. Back then, Muscarello Lester was a single divorced mother living with her mom. They lived in the 5300 block of North Rampart Street in the Lower Ninth Ward. Angel was 7, her brothers 9 and 5. Little did she know these would be the last words she would hear from a woman she described as a great, kind, loving mother.
He's like, bye, I love you. I'll see you this afternoon and y'all can start building the playhouse. That's the last time. Then I walked into the school building.
A few hours later, at lunchtime, she says a priest at the school delivered the devastating news to her and her brothers.
He just said, I just want to tell y'all that your mom died. And, we started crying and we're like, why? How?
Angel said they were told their mother died in a fire. They moved in with their father, and Angel says they weren't allowed to have contact with her mother's family. It wasn't until she moved out of her dad's home at age 17 that she says she learned from her mother's family and friends that a fire didn't kill her mom. Instead, she was murdered.
This is a home here on North Rampart where Angel says her mom was home alone on that morning when she was killed. It was shortly after she dropped the kids off from school. Angel says she later learned that her mom was on the phone talking to her cousin when someone came to the door, and she told her cousin to hang on while she went to check the door.
So she walked to the door, she came back, and she told her cousin, look, there's a black guy at the door. He went to the Naval Academy with VJ, which is her older brother, and he wants his address. I'm gonna go get it for him and I'll call you right back.
However, Edna Muscarello Lester never got a chance to call her cousin back. Neighbors saw smoke coming from her home around 9 a.m. and called the fire department.
They were able to pull the victim out before she was too badly burned.
NOPD Detective Winston Harbin is the new detective working the unsolved murder. He says firefighters noticed multiple stab wounds on her body when they dragged her from a smoky bedroom. Her killer stabbed her 15 times and left her in the house set on fire.
They discovered that she had been stabbed in the chest. Of course, the autopsy produced several other stab wounds to the victim, quite vicious.
Harbin says there was no sign of forced entry. He also says her body was left in a manner that looked staged to give the appearance of an attempted rape. Harbin says that's why he's focusing on whether the killer did that deliberately to throw detectives off what could be the real motive for her murder.
I'll give you an example. If you have a murder for hire, you don't want to make it look like a murder for hire. You want to look like possibly a sexual assault, so then the detectives guide themselves towards previous sexual assault individuals in the neighborhood.
Harbin says the main suspect is the unidentified African-American male who knocked at the front door of the home while the victim was on the phone with her cousin.
He may or may not be in jail. He may or may not be dead, considering the time frame. The name I have at this point, and I'm willing to share it, is Marty. I have Marty. That's all I have to go on.
For now, Harbin says he's looking at everyone in the case and he wants to speak with the victim's ex-husband, though he isn't calling him a suspect.
Absolutely. Absolutely a person of interest. We're absolutely a person of interest. Lack of cooperation back then, the fact that nobody was home and limited people knew her whereabouts or where she'd be at that time of the morning, Monday morning, recently following court papers filed for property settlement, all that plays a part in it. We can't ignore that as an investigator.
We reached out to the victim's ex-husband, Russell Joseph Lester Sr., by phone. I told him we were working on a story about the unsolved murder of his ex-wife, Edna Muscarello Lester, and if he wanted to do a phone interview with us regarding some of the allegations. After talking with the NOPD and his daughter Angel, he said no. My daughter is really nuts. I've been through this too long, too many times with the police and everybody else, and I ain't going through it again, okay? I asked, do you have a lawyer that I can talk to? He said, no, I'm keeping what I got to statement, okay? I asked, are you going to be talking to police again because they want to reach out to you? He said, I will talk to somebody and it's going to be come back at somebody else, okay? If I have to do it. Thank you. Bye. Russell hung up the phone. Again, the NOPD isn't naming Russell Lester a suspect. Meantime, Angel Lester believes someone still alive has the clues to her mother's murder.
She deserved to finish her life out and watch us grow and see her grandkids, see her great-grandson. And she got robbed of all that. And we got robbed of all that.
She says while solving the case won't take away her pain, it would bring peace and justice for her mother, Edna Muscarello Lester. Liz Reyes, Fox 8, Local First.
If you have any information, you're urged to call the NOPD detective on the case at 504-658-5315. New Orleans will be well represented.